Alrighty. So now we're going to be doing Gaming Week. And the whole point of this channel is to have everything connect to each other. And so up until this point, the connections have been more or less obvious. I haven't had to point them out. Like, we started with ideology, went to my ideology, went to thinking about money and how it affects people, related to ideology. And we went from buying things to buying people. And then we went from buying people to talking about people. And now we're going to talking about race to talking about gaming. And this is the thing. Everything is connected. The whole world, everything in it, it's all connected. In the same way that last week we were talking about how all the people in the world are connected and how we all learn from each other, well, games are like that too. Games are a reflection of our world, our reality. And so, what we're going to be talking about today is something that is very interesting and very surprising. And I actually have a little bit of a clip that I'd like to play for you first before we dive into this topic. And so, this clip is going to be from Pyromancer. He is a content creator for World of Warcraft theories, right? And so here he's talking to the author of the newest World of Warcraft book. And, I'll let them do the talking. Here's the clip. And there you go. You may not see it yet, but this is exactly the point. During that interview, they were talking about, hey, people are very invested in this like work of fiction, right? World of Warcraft. They're super invested in it. Other stuff too. And so, what has happened is people, gamers, have become so invested in their games that it has become a defining part of their identity. And this is a feeling, an aspect that has gone beyond just a specific game. It's not just people who like World of Warcraft hang out with other people who like World of Warcraft. It's that people who like World of Warcraft hang out with people who like Halo, who hang out with people who like, I don't know, Animal Crossing. Like, gamers are a term, a type of person, a community, a group of people, a collective, more so than just the games they play. And so, World of Warcraft is a great example of this, because it has been so pivotal in so many people's lives. It is more than just a game, it's a community experience, because you have to remember that when World of Warcraft was first came out in the vanilla classic version, we were still using AOL Instant Messenger, right? Talking to someone through chat on the internet was a new thing. So when I played World of Warcraft, and I was just, I don't even think I was a teen. Was I like 12 or 13? I forget. Anyway, I just started playing. And first I played with my friends. I was so bad at the game, I didn't know the first thing about anything. My friend was like, how is it that you went through the first 9 levels of the game with only your starter ability and never learned any other abilities. Like, and the hilarious thing is, I actually was like, oh man, this is such engaging gameplay. I'm pressing one button. This is the most fun thing I've ever played. But yeah, it's a social experience. And so as I played the game, I started to meet other people. And I've already talked a little bit about this, about that I became a raid leader in Cataclysm. So I was in high school at that point. And yeah, at that point, I was great. I was having a fun time with people I met solely online. I didn't know them outside of the internet. And so it went from this, oh, this is a fun thing that I do with my friends, to this is a community of people. And what has happened is very interesting. Last week, I was talking about race. And the thing about race is that not many races think of themselves as a race. Europeans don't think of themselves as European. Asians don't think of themselves as Asians. But Africans think of themselves as African. The African Americans think of themselves as black. That they say, I am the same as all these other people, because just look at us. We have a similar skin tone. Look at that. That's all it took. And the reason is because they want to have a community that's got their back, that supports them and lifts them up. And so the reason why we're switching from race to gaming is because gamers, in a way, are now like a race. Gamers are a group of people that support each other and help each other and raise each other up. Yeah, sure, there's toxicity in there, but I mean, we're going to pretend black on black violence doesn't happen just because they're supportive of their community? Like, of course it does. And of course there's toxicity in gaming, and gamers sometimes resent other gamers, but at the end of the day, gamers support each other. They back each other up. And if you try to attack them or their hobby, they're going to fight back. And that's the thing, is gamers will defend games that they don't even play, because they know, wait a second, I want to defend this game that I don't play and I never plan on playing, precisely because, well, the people who play that game, well, they would do the same for me and my game, the game I like to play. And that's the exact same thing that African Americans say all the time. It was, well, they would do the same for me. That's why I'm helping them. Because they have my back and I have theirs. And that's the thing. Is in a more real and present way, gamers are more of a race than most races. And an outflow of this is the culture. There's a pretty memey, trolly kind of culture with gamers, right? They say kek a lot, right? Instead of lol or lol, they say kek. Do you know where that came from? That came from World of Warcraft. I saw that become a thing because when I was playing World of Warcraft Classic, the original version, the vanilla version, before all the expansions, you would be going throughout the world and you'd be like, oh man, this is so fun. And then all of a sudden, you're a horde character and there's an alliance person coming at you. And they're going to try to kill you. And you know what they do? They're like 10, 20 levels above you. They just destroy you in like 3 hits. And you're like, oh my goodness, what am I going to do? And then as you're sitting there dead on the floor and you're about to click that release button, they yell something out, and you can see the chat bubble above their head, and their character laughs. Now, in World of Warcraft, the different races in the game speak different languages. And so you can't speak across factions. At least you didn't used to be able to. And so I couldn't read what he said. It was all garbled up. But I knew what he said. You know why? Because every time I type LOL, my character laughs. And so those 3 letters above his head, I can guess what they mean. They mean LOL. They mean, ha, I killed you, you suck. But you know what the letters actually were? KEK. That's where it came from. And there's so many people that use that now that never even played World of Warcraft, that don't even know that's where it came from. They don't understand it. It's like, I saw that and I was like, oh man, dude, look at that. And then years later, it became a meme, and I'm like, dude, that's so funny. It's just like in World of Warcraft. And that's the thing. There's this community, this common culture. And also, it's very important that the people who would see Kek all the time are the Horde players. You know, the orcs, the Tauren, which are like Minotaur-looking guys, and the trolls. So, you know, maybe all those gamers are a bit trolly because they were playing literal trolls. Something to think about. But here's the thing. This community, this group, this being part of this gamer group, this collective, this race, I don't play World of Warcraft anymore. I don't have time for it, right? I'm father of 2 kids. So, I'm busy. But at the same time, I watched YouTube videos, like the clip that you just saw. That's relatively recent, and I watched it precisely because, well, I wanted to learn about the world, about World of Warcraft, even though I wasn't even playing the game. That I'm still a fan after 3 years of not playing it, and I'm excited for the new expansion, even though I don't plan on playing that. I wish I had time, and I wish I could, but I probably won't. And so, being a gamer is so much more than playing a game. It's being part of this community of saying, look at that person. They would probably have my back. And so if they go through hard times, I should have their back. And we've seen this at a world stage where a gamer from Taiwan, right? He'll say, hey, something about the Hong Kong protests, right? Revolution of our time. And then, first of all, the commentators were totally like, we're going to let this happen. This is going to be funny. And then there's all the different, there's the reaction. Oh man, something bad happened. Look at this guy who got, cheated out of his prize money because he said a political statement. Everyone around the world, all the gamers around the world, the ones who played World of Warcraft and played Hearthstone and didn't. The people who knew about the game he was even playing, and those who didn't. Everyone grouped up and said, hey, this guy needs justice. This guy needs support. You know why? Because he's a gamer. He's one of us. And that's the thing. is gamers are now a race, a group of people that are bound together by more than just, hobby. It's based on more than just what game you play. It's a collective culture. And so, yeah, maybe race is not the correct terminology to describe it, but it's practically the same thing. I mean, there's more in common with between gamers than between black people. I mean, that may sound a little bit offensive to say, but like, do you think the people from the Caribbean and the people from West Africa and the people from South Africa and the people from America, do you think they all think and act and believe the same stuff? No, not even close. But still, they support each other. And that's precisely because that's what you do. That's what it means to be a good person. That's what it means to be part of that community. So it doesn't even matter that, someone may be mixed race and may not even have dark skin. They're still part of that community. And that's what being a gamer is being part of a community. Even though I barely have time to play games anymore, I still think of myself as part of that community, even though I'm not the one playing. And that's what gives me hope for the whole world coming together. Because here in this case, for gamers, gamer is not ethnicity in a particular country. It's something that spans the entire globe. Every corner of this earth, there are gamers. And they're all the same. They're all connected. They may speak different languages and have different customs and different traditions. But that doesn't matter, because deep down, they're a gamer. So that means they're on my team, and that means I'm on theirs. And that's an important realization. Like we talked about last week, you need to learn how to have a community, how to lift people up, even when it doesn't benefit you directly. You have to learn how to get along with each other, how to think of each other as part of your team, even if you don't know them personally. That's an important skill, and that's something that gamers do just about as well as anyone else. Which is amazing considering they're just games. Like, deep down, we all know, like in the clip, if you don't like the game, just stop playing, right? If it's not fun anymore, just stop playing. Everyone knows that. I didn't have enough time. And so instead of being stressed and feeling like, oh my goodness, I'm spending all my time doing other stuff when I should be playing the game. Well, no, that's backwards thinking. I should be spending all my time with my family, building something that'll last. The game comes second. But that's the thing. So many people get in that mindset of the game has to come first because that's their community. That's their culture. That's who they are. That's their identity. And gaming as identity is very powerful. And we have yet to really see how good and how bad it can be. We've seen some people who are, the the classic news article stereotype of, oh man, this guy, he wears a diaper because he can't get out of his seat to go to the bathroom. He's gotta play that game. Like, yeah, that's gross. That's disgusting. That's horrendous. And I can't really believe that some people do that. But at the same time, you have all these stories of how games have made something amazing in this world. That they've helped with research on epidemics. They've helped with research on economies. They've helped with inspiring people to become doctors and to do all kinds of amazing stuff. A lot of the great things that are coming around are from gamers. A lot of people who played games and had that worldwide community experience are now starting to get a bit older and starting to change the world in their own right. And they have this experience of saying, hey, you know, I had this one guy in my raid group. I think he was from Venezuela, and so yeah, like every daylight savings time, it would be a thing because, you know, they don't have daylight savings time, and so I would have to remember, be like, oh yeah, well in this part of the world, he doesn't have daylight savings time, so when we switch, he doesn't, and so then you know, that becomes a whole thing. And so it would be like, oh, well, 6 months of the year, he's just going to be late. And yeah, that's how it goes. Because it's in the same time zone even, but it's just, you know, different part of the world. And so stuff like that happens. And so you build a community, and you, across countries, across languages, across cultures. And it's great. It's beautiful. You see, the internet has made the world a small world after all, right? As they say. Because we are all connected. Absolutely. We're all the same deep down inside. And the challenge for us is to bring that inside part of us out. To show the world who we are, so that way we can be together and be a community and care about each other and build each other up. And that's what being a gamer is about. If being a gamer was about playing games, well, then anyone with a smartphone would be a gamer. Well, that's not really true. Gamer doesn't have an age, but, you know, there are some groups of people that, you know, they got into it when it was the getting was good, and some missed that train. And so that's the thing to think about as we start out this gaming week, is that games have a lot to say about the world. And one of the most obvious ways is what today is about. That gamers do a lot in this world now. That they are actually an actual group, an actual community. And about as tightly knit as any other massive community out there. So while gamer is not quite a real race because it has nothing to do with your genetics, it kind of does. Because in order to be a gamer, you need to be a human, right? And that's all it takes. So, in a way, gamer has kind of transcended all of our differences. because we found something that was the same. Same passion, same values. And that's a good thing. It goes to show that we are really just one race, the human race. And being a gamer has shown me that. And that's a good thing. Hopefully you'll find the rest of the things we talk about gaming just as interesting as this one. Hopefully you enjoyed it.